start off with saying, what does creative excellence do? And what we do is we're the advertising research experts who combine art, science, and knowledge to help our clients achieve their business goals. These three things are important because creativity is all about art. Of course, Ipsos brings the science and the knowledge. That's our methods and our knowledge. And what we do is we cover the entire creative development process to help our clients bring back the magic. I'll come back to this point at the end of the presentation and show you in a video exactly how we do that. We could probably discuss creativity, and lots of you probably have your own opinion about this. There's a book I've read called The Case for Creativity by an author which actually talks about this in pages and pages. But what we are seeing is that creativity is not just something that happens in the south of France in June. It actually is synonymous with business. And Keith Reed has had this quote where he said, there is hard evidence that creative work is more memorable, more effective, and able to drive overall business performance. You can take his word for it, but there are plenty of studies that prove this. So the IPA is an independent body from the UK who's looked at cases of creatively awarded ads over many years and seen that they have significant improvements in market share gains. So they really move the needle for business in the market. There are also studies from McKinsey that speak about this as well. Let me show you an ad that's been quite controversial.
If people say your dreams are crazy, if they laugh at what you think you can do, good. Stay that way. Because what non-believers fail to understand is that calling a dream crazy is not an insult. It's a compliment. Don't try to be the fastest runner in your school or the fastest in the world. Be the fastest ever. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. And if you're a girl from Compton, don't just become a tennis player. Become the greatest athlete ever. Yeah, that's more like it. So don't ask if your dreams are crazy. Ask if they're crazy enough.
So I was living in the US at the time when this ad was aired, and it created a lot of controversy. You've probably heard about it, people burning their sneakers on the first day. But actually, a couple of days later, it took off and had the reciprocal effect. Actually did really, really well for Nike. Nike could probably do that. We wrote a point of view, which is, should brands try to change the world? There's some really good articles in that point of view, cases in that point of view, which you can download from our website, which talks about Pepsi, what Pepsi attempted to do, what Nike have done, and also lately what Gillette have tried to do. Of course, being bold is important in creativity, but it's also about being purposeful. What we also say at Creative Excellence is that creativity is magic, and it should inspire us all. This example I'll tell you about in a moment, but it's one from France, a very, very good example of magic.
L'extraordinaire de Perrier, avec de plus petites bulles.
So I've played this ad a couple of times in different presentations, and somebody who just heard the music said, I know that ad. It's actually a reincarnation of an ad that was produced in 1991. That ad won a Cannes Lion last year and is a fantastic example of being really simple, using iconography for the brand Perrier, but really being visual and simple and engaging. So a good example there. We also know that creativity starts with people, and this is good for us as ad researchers. It's also good for us as Ipsos because we talk about the total understanding of people. And if you can understand cultures and people, your advertising will do much better. Of course, we also say that creativity is all about collaboration. And I've been in advertising research for quite a while now, and there's always been this massive wedge between creative agency and advertising research. And the best projects and the best examples we've seen is when creative agency and marketing research or advertising researchers actually work together. What you have is a journey rather than a transactional destination. Much more important. Also, we say that creativity needs a spark. What we mean by that is having a human truth, or what I often refer to as a golden thread of advertising. And what this can do is it can help your story propel across different platforms and media. The next example is a perfect example that has done that really, really well. So let's have a look at it.
Don't go breaking my heart.
Whoa, stop right there.
Here, eat a Snickers. You always lose your edge when you're hungry. Better?
Better.
Yo, I said, give me the track.
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers.
But of course, you'll remember that actually that campaign started in 2011. In 2012, Mars won the Advertiser of the Year. And it's been very, very effective for Mars. In fact, they used that idea, that universal truth and big idea, through many, many different campaigns. They've always refreshed it with different ideas. What I like about what they did here is adapted the stories and the execution to those relevant markets. You see some examples over here, obviously Mr. Bean, very relevant for the UK. But we actually were involved in that and helped the clients understand those cultural relevances and difference. And you can see on the chart here that through using our pre-testing and understanding the different mechanisms in the execution, they actually really got improved performance in their results as well when they pre-tested with us. So I'll leave you with one last point, which I haven't talked about, but in the digital age, everybody talks about making a first impression, and that the first 3 to 5 seconds is very, very important. We agree, absolutely. But what we've found through a case study that we've done, we've analyzed about 500 ads and looked at non-conscious measurements with our measure of attention, and we've seen that actually the peak end rule is actually just as important. So having your lasting story really land on the emotional benefit for the brand is just as important as those first 3 to 5 seconds. So we've written a paper on that. So I've spoken to you about a couple of themes today: being bold, being purposeful, being noticed, being creative. Very, very important things for creativity to stand out. Now I'm going to show you a video of actually what we do. Lean in and have a look at this. Thank you.
Of a campaign success is driven by the creative. Creativity drives business.
Thanks very much. Thank you.